Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Test Code Automate. So this is my 21st video for the Playwright with TypeScript series. In this video, I would be covering how to handle iFrame or frame in Playwright. So let's start. A frame is used to embed another document within the current HTML document. A page can have additional frame attached with the iFrame or frame tag. And there is a note which I have put that the frame tag was used in HTML4 to define one particular window frame within a frame set HTML tag, and this tag is not supported in HTML5. So mostly you would be able to see this iFrame HTML tag into the application, but if you see this frame HTML tag, so you need to handle it into the same way we are going to handle this iFrame. Okay, so let's see how we can first identify that particular application is using iFrame in them or not. Okay, so for this video I'm going to use this particular website, which is W3 School, for the practice purpose. I will also provide the link of this particular website into the description so you can use it for. So here we are able to see this HTML form with this first name, last name and submit button. Okay, let me inspect it first. Okay, so this is the form. Okay, and once I inspect this whole section, okay, this is the complete section. Okay, so here you would be able to see this iFrame HTML tag is appearing, right? And inside it there is a whole HTML document which is there. Inside this form is also there. Okay, so into the definition also we saw this, right? A frame is used to embed another document within the current HTML document, right? So our whole application web page, this web page is one HTML document, right? And inside it we are able to see another HTML document which is appearing inside the iFrame, right? So with this iFrame, you would be able to see different attributes also, like name, ID, and some other attributes can also be there, right? Let me give you one more example. So see, this is one application web page, right? And inside it, if you will see, there is this one more section itself which is appearing, which is the complete site. Okay, let me inspect it. Okay, so this is that particular section, right? So see, here also you are able to see this iFrame HTML tag is there, and inside it there is a complete document which is there, right? Complete HTML document which is there. Okay, which is appearing here. Okay, so this whole page is one HTML document, right? And inside it there is iFrame, and which is embedding this particular HTML document, right? Which is appearing inside the iFrame. Okay, and here we are able to see different attributes like title, src is also appearing, right? So it depends, right? Whatever the attributes which are there, and we can use it accordingly. Okay, now let me give you one more example related to the frame HTML tag, right? So this application is there, UI Vision. Okay, inside it, if I will inspect this, okay, so you would be able to see there is this frame HTML tag which is appearing, right? And it is appearing inside the frame set. Okay, so many frame tag also there, but as we understood, right, this frame tag was used into the HTML4, but now it is not supported into the HTML5. So mostly you would be able to see this iFrame tag only. Okay, but if you see this frame HTML tag, so you need to handle it into the same way. Okay, so let's start that how we can handle the elements within the iFrame. Okay, so let me open this VS Code. So here I have already created one script file which is handle iframe.spec.ts. Okay, and here I have imported this test from @playwright/test module, and I have created these three different test blocks which I would be using to give you three different examples that how we can handle the iframe and the element inside the iframe. Okay, so let's see. So these are two different methods. One is the frame and the second one is the frameLocator, which we can use to access the iframe. So let's start with the first one, which is frame. So here we can use it like this, page.frame, and then inside it we can either pass the name or the URL to access the iframe. So let's go to the VS Code. So see here for this first test block, I've already given the name as the handle iFrame with name, right? And the second argument is the anonymous function. Okay, and inside it we are going to write the code. So here I've already given this line, await page.go to go to this URL. Okay, now what I will do, I will go to the application. So what we need to do, here into this application, we need to detect this particular page and we need to perform action, right? We would be entering one value inside it. Okay, so let's inspect it first. Okay, and if I click here, so I'm able to see this input element with this ID or name which I can use. Let me use this ID to detect the element. Okay, now here let me do it directly, right? We what we do, we give this page dot any method which we can use, right? Locator or get by method also we can use. So page dot locator, and inside it I can pass the selector which is hash and the ID name which is the CSS selector, right? About this we have already talked, that how we can use this locator method with the XPath CSS selector, right? Or the ID, or other options are also there. If you have not watched that video, I will recommend you to watch the video. So onto this locator, now we are going to perform the fill operation. Okay, fill, and what I'm going to fill, I'm going to fill the test code automate channels name here, right? Okay, and with this fill, as it is returning the promise, we need to use the await keyword. Okay, so now let me run the script. So once I run the script, what will happen? It will open this link, okay, and then it will try to find out this locator for the first name, but it will not be able to do it. Why? Because this element, right, this text box is available inside the iframe, but what we are doing, we are accessing it directly inside the page. So see here, we have got this error, the test timeout of 20,000 millisecond exited, right? So let me close this error. Okay, so now first what we are going to do, we are going to detect or access that particular iframe or frame, and as this element is present inside this particular iframe, so we would be detecting it inside that particular iframe. Okay, so first what we need to do, we need to use this page dot and then frame method we are going to use. Okay, and with this frame, if you will check it into the application, so with this iframe we are having this name attribute, right, which we can use. So let me copy this. Okay, so here inside this frame we need to pass that name as the string. Okay, and then what we need to do, we can directly either give this dot locator right here, or what we can do, we can store it inside a variable, right? So let's use it like this, const we need to give. Okay, and then we need to give the variable name, right? W3 frame, let me give it like this. Any name you can give, right? For now I'm giving the W3 frame. So now what we have done, we have stored this particular part which is going to return the frame inside this variable, right? And now what we will do, we are going to use this frame to detect its inner element, right? So this is the frame, and inside it there is this first name, last name, and the submit button is present, right? So from this frame we are going to detect that element using any method you can use, right? Locator or get by method, and then we are performing the fill operation. Okay, and here if you will see, we are getting this error, right? And if you mouse over, you are seeing it like this, W3 frame is possibly null. So for now what Playwright is doing, Playwright is detecting it as the null, right? See, it is going to return either null or frame. So if this page dot frame is not able to detect any element, it is going to return the null, right? And if the name is correct and if it is able to find that frame, it is going to return that frame value, right? But for now what Playwright is assuming, that it is going to return null, so that's why it is showing error. But if you will run it like this also, so here this W3 frame variable is going to get the frame from this one, right, at the runtime, and then it will perform the operation. And if you want to avoid this error also, you can put this question mark. So with this question mark, what we are doing here, we are telling that if this W3 frame is null, then you need not to go further, right? It will stop the execution here itself for this test. Okay, so see the error went, and if you remove it also, that is okay, right? Although the error will appear, but it will not fail. Okay, so now let's run it again. Let me close all the browser. So now this time we would be able to detect that first name, because we are detecting it through the iframe. First we are detecting the iframe, and inside it we are trying to locate the element. So now let's run the script. So see, this time it will get passed. It will be able to open that page, and then it will be detecting that first name field and will enter this test code automate inside the first name. So see, the browser got open and see, it was able to enter this test code automate now. Okay. So now let's go to the second part. So like the name, we can also pass the URL to detect or access a particular frame, right? So to do that, what we need to do, we need to first detect that iFrame, right? So for this, we are going to use this particular page onto the w3school.com. Okay. So see here, if you will inspect this iFrame, right? So this iFrame is having this src attribute, right? And its value, if you will mouse over onto it, it is the complete URL, right? This is what which you need to pass inside the frame method to detect that particular iFrame. Okay. So right click on it and you need to copy this complete link address, right? Copy link address. Yeah, otherwise, if you will give this short name, it will not work. Okay. So now to access the frame, we need to give this page dot and the same method we are using frame. But now previously we were giving the name, right? Which we were passing as the string. Now we are going to use the URL to access the frame. So to pass the URL, what you need to do, you need to pass the object. Okay. So opening and closing of curly braces, and inside it, you would be passing URL as the key, and its value would be the complete URL which you just copied. Okay. So through this, we would be able to access the iFrame or frame, right? Previously, we were able to do it with the help of name, but now we are trying to do it with the help of URL, right? Okay. And now what we will do, we will perform one operation. So here we would be clicking onto this particular search box and then we would be entering the value. So once it will open, what it will do, it will first just show this icon, right? Search icon, and then once we click on it, we would be able to enter value inside it. Okay. So now let's locate the element. So let me locate the element using the pick locator thing of Playwright. Okay, so let's open the browser from the Playwright. Okay, click onto the pick locator, it will directly open the browser. You can paste the link and then we can use this pick locator tool to detect the element, right? So let's copy this URL here. Okay, now see, it is just opening this search icon first, and then once we click on it, it will open that search bar, right? So let's inspect this thing, right? So see, it is giving this get by label. It is detecting the element using the get by label. Go to the VS Code and just copy this section, get by label thing, right? Because this frame we have already created, right? Playwright is also able to detect that this element is inside the frame, right? So that's why it is giving this frame and then it is showing this get by label method to locate the element. But for now, we will just use this part because we have already detected the frame using this URL, right? By using this frame method, and inside it, we are passing the URL. So I have copied this get by label part. So what we can do, first we can save this frame inside a variable, right? So const and then variable name we can pass. So w3 frame 2 I am giving, okay, and then equals to. So every time I am storing this frame value inside a variable because for now we are just performing one or two operation, right? But in your project you may be performing so many operations onto these elements which are inside the frame, right? So it's better to kind of create a variable and put the frame inside it, and then you can locate the element by this variable, right? So now what we need to do, we can use this w3 frame to write directly dot, and then this locator we can pass. So for now we are using this get by label, okay, which got detected by pick locator thing. And then we first need to perform the click operation, okay. And as we are performing click, we will have to provide this await as it is going to return the promise, okay. And the second thing which we are going to do, we are going to detect this search bar, right? So after clicking onto that search icon, let's again use this pick locator and click onto this search bar. So see, you would be able to see that that particular locator got generated. Okay, so I'm just again copying this till this part only, get by placeholder and search, because frame we have already detected, right, using this URL. So again await then you are going to use this w3 frame 2, right? Because our elements are inside this frame, and then pass that locator here, and then we are going to write something inside it. So let's write something inside the search bar. So I would be using this fill method. Okay, and here we can write test code automate. Okay, so now our script is ready, we can run it. So it will first open this particular link, and then it will try to access the frame using the URL, right? So previously we did it with the help of name, but now we are using the same method, but now we are passing the URL as the object, right? First we need to pass the object where the URL would be the key and its value would be the src attributes value. Again, then we are clicking onto that search icon, and then we are entering the value inside it. So now let's run the script. First close all the browser and click onto this run. Okay, so see, the browser got opened, and now once the page is loaded, it will click onto this search icon, see, and it entered the value, right? So yeah, this is the second way for this frame method, through which we can access the frame and then we can perform the action onto the different elements which are present inside the frame. Okay, so now let's go to the third way. So here, to detect the frame, we can also use this frameLocator method, right? Here we saw. So the first way we have done, right, we have detected the frame using this frame method, where we have passed the name and the URL to detect or access the iFrame. So now what we are going to do, we are going to use this frameLocator method to detect the element. Okay, and inside this frameLocator method, what we need to pass, we need to pass the selector value. So similarly, like we use this locator method, right? Inside it, we pass the selector. It may be XPath or CSS or different attribute, right? ID. So similarly, the same thing we are going to pass here inside the frameLocator method. So let's try it. So I'm going to use this third test block where I have already given this title, that handle iFrame with this frameLocator method. Okay, and inside this anonymous function, I have given this page.goto to go to this particular page. So same page we are going to use, this site where we would be navigating, and same action we would be performing. Okay, so let's first locate the frame, right? So to locate the frame, what we need to do, the same thing, page dot, and then now this time we are going to use this frameLocator method. Okay, so frameLocator, and then we are going to pass the selector. Okay, so here let's use this title this time. Okay, so we will use this title to create one CSS selector. Okay, and how we can do that, so you need to pass that attribute inside the square brackets. Okay, so opening and closing of square brackets, and then we can pass this title equals to, and the single quotes you can give the title, right? Okay, so see, it is able to detect that particular iframe. Okay, and we can pass the same selector inside this frameLocator method as the argument. Okay, and now once the frame is ready, right, with the help of this we would be able to access the frame, right? So let's store it inside a variable. So w3 frame 3, this name I am giving. Okay, and then we need to perform the same operation, right? First we need to click onto that search button like previously we did inside this second test block, and then we would be entering this test code automate there. Okay, so I have copied the same line here, but this time we are going to use this frame name, right? w3 frame 3. Okay, so let's copy paste. So here what I've done, I have located the frame using the frameLocator. Okay, and inside it I have passed the selector. So the CSS selector I have passed. You can also pass the XPath, okay, or the ID, right? Whatever the selector which we can pass inside the locator method, we can pass it here, right, to detect the iframe. So we are going to use this w3 frame 3 variable, right, where we have stored the frame. Okay, so using this variable, we are going to first detect the element which are there inside the frame. So we have used this get by label method, right? So using this, we will click onto this search icon, right? And then after clicking onto the search icon, we would be kind of entering the value inside this, right? So it will click here and then it will enter the value here. Okay, so into this line number 21, see here we are using this frame and then this get by placeholder method to detect that search bar, and then we are filling the value inside it. Okay, so now let's run the script. Let's close all the Playwright browsers and click onto this run button. So see, it opened the browser. It is still loading. So now it clicked onto that search icon and then it entered the same value, right? Test code automate. So now, as you are already aware about this frame and frame locator methods, so you can access the frame by using these methods, right? And then you can create the locator and then you can perform any action on it like this, right? But with this pick locator or the recording thing, what you can do, you can use these tools and directly Playwright will do that work for you, right? So what Playwright will do, let's say if you are trying to detect the element, right, which is inside the frame, so Playwright will automatically access the frame and then it will create that particular locator, right? And then you can perform any action on it. So let me quickly show it to you. So for now I will use this pick locator thing. So here if I click onto this pick locator and go to the site, right? So see this particular part which is there into the iframe, right? So let me detect this search icon itself. Once I click on it and go to the VS Code, so see here I'm able to see this locator, right, which got generated. Let me copy it and let me paste it here. Okay, and how we can use it, we need to use this await page dot whatever the locator which got generated, right? So this is the locator which got generated, and here if you will see, so see Playwright has automatically generated this particular part where we are trying to access the frame, and with this then we are trying to access that particular element, right, with the help of this locator. And now you can perform any action on it, right? So let's say if I want to perform the click operation in a single line, I'm just showing it to you. You can break it down into the separate pieces like this, right? First you can generate the frame and then you can try to locate the element and then you can perform any action on it, right? Or you can do it like this also, right? Let me detect one more element which is there inside the iframe. So see this part is there inside the iframe, right? And if I click onto this login, so it will copy that locator, and once I go to the VS Code, so see here the complete locator is there, and let me copy it here. So see this is the locator which Playwright has already detected, right? So here it is first detecting that frame, right, and then it is accessing this login button, right? So you here what you can do, you can save it inside a variable, right, and then also you can perform the action on it, right? So here I have saved it inside the variable, right? So page dot and then whatever the locator which Playwright generated, right? It has generated it with this frame locator also, right? And then you can perform the action on it, right? So here it would be login button, right? Dot click operation we can perform here. Okay, so accordingly, I mean you can also try to use this pick locator or this record functionality, right? So automatically it will access the frame and then it will detect that particular element, right? So I mean it would be easy for you to kind of generate the locator, right? So automatically Playwright will detect that if something is there inside the iframe, it will try to locate it in such a way that it will directly use this frame or frame locator method, right? But if it is there outside the iframe, then Playwright will not generate this part, right? It will directly generate this locator part, right? Either the locator method it will use or the get by methods it will use. Let me show it to you that part also. See here now I will try to detect this, right? So click on it and go to the VS Code. So see here we are not able to see that frame locator part because this is not there inside the iframe. Okay, so that part is done by the Playwright, right? So you need not to worry about it if you will use this pick locator or recording functionality. Okay, so let me remove this part, right? Just for an example I wanted to show it to you. If you want to use this pick locator or recording functionality, that also you can use, right? You can try to do practice with this also, so you will get to know about it more. Okay, so that's it for this particular video. Let me give you the quick recap. So here, as we have seen, that a frame is used to embed another document within the current HTML document, right? And you can see different HTML tag like iFrame or frame for the frames. Okay, but mostly you would be able to see iFrame, as the frame is it was used in the HTML4, but into the HTML5 it is not supported. And to detect the frame, you can use this two method. One is the frame and the second one is the frameLocator, right? So that's what we saw here. So first we detected the frame using the name with this frame method, and the second time we detected the frame using the URL for this frame method. Okay, and the third way which we have used is this frameLocator method, and inside it we can pass any selector, right? It may be XPath, CSS, or the ID. Okay, and then you can perform any operation inside those frame. Okay, if there is any element which is present, so you can detect it like this. You need to give the frame name and then the locator method or get by method you can use to detect the element, and then you can perform any operation on it. Okay, so yeah, that's it from my end. If you want to watch the next video, you can click onto this first card, and if you want to watch the whole playlist, you can click onto the second card. And stay tuned for my upcoming videos. If you have any comments, questions, doubts, you can let me know into the comment section below. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day.